Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship.
All these motorists here, they're not staying at home, clearly.
Essential travel.
Okay, then.
Protests are not essential.
I don't really care if I die. I mean, you can shoot me in the head, put a gun in my head. I would love to die. Okay. But to kill other people willingly, that's...
Are you insinuating that the protesters are here to get infected and kill people willingly?
Well, if a person is knowingly letting themselves get infected and spreading the virus, then yes, they are in fact killing people willingly.
Wow. Huh.
Well, I can't understand. Take that silly thing off. It doesn't do you any good.
It sounds like you're auditioning for the Bane role in the next Batman movie, sir. Let's try it again. What were you trying to say? Watch this, guys. He's trying to communicate, but I don't know. What were you trying to say, sir?
I said there's the fault not befallen us.
I gotta be honest, sir. That is about as clear as the Charlie Brown teacher. I can't understand a word you're saying. Jesus, that is the new normal, folks. That gets John Tory's approval.
Mr. Ramsey, I just wanted to tell you that.
Yes, sir.
You got to even. I know that you guys are media, but just maintain the five people rule. There's more people than this. I don't want you to encourage a gathering of more than five.
Sir, I'm not part of the protest. I'm just here to cover it.
But just because you're here, people are attracted, and it makes a group like there's more than five of you here. I know you guys are all media, but you still have to respect the 2 meter rule.
It's like saying that street light is going to attract moths. I have no control over that. I'm here to cover the protest, and right now there are more police officers that protest.
You are media.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Interject here.
Okay.
If you're going to have an interview with an individual, please have an individual. Just be cognizant of the group of five, and then at that point you can move to another individual and have that conversation with said person so you can get your interview at the end of the day.
There's a lot more police than there are protesters.
But you don't understand why.
No, I don't. You're telling me this rule of five, and I'm telling you any Toronto Transit Commission vehicle is obliterating that rule, and that is owned and operated by the city officer.
Do you understand the stay-home order?
No, I don't, because I've seen our politicians go to St. Bart's and pretend they're staying at home.
You can look up the order on the internet, couldn't you?
Okay, but my job is to cover the news, and this is where the news is happening.
No, but I just asked you if you understood the stay-home order,
Okay, well,
and you said you didn't.
well, I see all kinds of motorists. Well, no, sir. All these motorists here, they're not staying at home, clearly.
Essential travel.
Okay, then.
Protests are not essential. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's good.
Can you not hear me? If I talk like this, you can't hear me.
It's very distorted, sir. Honestly, can you take off that mask for a few minutes? And
I prefer not to.
okay, are you that scared of being infected? By, like, you look relatively young and relatively healthy to me. You have a 6 times higher chance of getting killed crossing Queen's Park Crescent than you do of getting the Wuhan virus. So, I mean, how is a person like yourself so terrorized by this virus?
It's not that I'm terrorized, it's just that if I get sick, I can make somebody else sick.
Okay, then.
And as long as I don't get sick, I can't make anybody else sick. I don't want to kill anybody.
Okay.
At the end of the day, I don't want to cause death.
All
So
right.
I don't really care if I die. I mean, you can shoot me in the head, put a gun in my head. I would love to die.
Okay.
But to kill other people willingly, that's...
Are you insinuating that the protesters are here to get infected and kill people willingly?
Well, if a person is knowingly letting themselves get infected and spreading the virus, then yes, they are in fact killing people willingly.
Wow. Huh. Well, I mean, do you have any evidence of that? I mean, right now, the restaurants and the retailers are closed down, and there's only a 0.1% of trackable cases to these businesses in terms of COVID, and yet they're all shut down. I mean, it doesn't seem to make sense to me.
I agree with you that the businesses should be closed. People should be making money. The fact that businesses are dying is very, very tragic as well. And I don't think that people that are protesting the stay-at-home orders are necessarily purposefully trying to kill people, but to not protect other people at the same time is also, like, it's hard to find a winning solution, right?
Well, I'm not sure I understand where you're coming from. I mean, just 2 Sundays ago, we had the Super Bowl. There was 25,000 people in the stands. And I don't know, maybe the Wuhan virus respects the NFL and Florida, but how is that not a super spreader event? And here we have, I don't know, there's not even 24 people out here today, so there's more police and protesters.
All I know is this virus is real. It does infect people. If you look at the RNA code, it's not something that's just made up. And it's something that we have to respect that exists, and we have to respect that there are people that are afraid, and their fears are justified. And everybody has a right to live freely. But you're right, the businesses shouldn't just be shut down. And I think that should be the focus of the protest, not being anti-mask or anything like that, but to reopen businesses in a way that we're not spreading a virus.
Well, like I said, the studies by the food service and retail industries only track back 0.1% of confirmed cases in those businesses. So I don't know how those are super spreader events. I don't think the people here are anti-mask. They're about mask choice. I mean, you're wearing that mask. I don't mind. It's your life. I love freedom. If you want to do that, that's fine. It is hard to hear you, though, I got to tell you. And I'm not saying the virus isn't real, but we got to look at who it's killing. Do you know, for example, sir, how many people in Ontario under 20 have died from the Wuhan virus?
One of my close friends caught COVID, and she was in the hospital for a week, 2 weeks she had to be intubated. She almost died.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm just saying, I'm going by the stats.
One of my friends in the States, he got it 6 months ago, and he's still having complications from the virus.
But again, wouldn't you say that the death toll is the only relevant statistic as opposed to positive cases?
Really, like if you cross the street, like over there, and you get rammed by a car very bad, you can't walk for the rest of your life. Do you care about the death statistic, or do you care about the fact that you now can't walk for the rest of your life? I'm not saying that COVID makes it so you can't walk for the rest of your life, but we don't know the repercussions of the long-term repercussions of the virus right now as it stands.
But we've learned a lot in a year. We know that the lion's share of the deaths are elderly people, typically with a condition, typically living at long-term care facilities. That's something like 83% the last time I saw the stat. And again, I ask you, how many people in Ontario do you think have died from the virus that are under 20?
Why does that matter?
I think it matters a lot because the answer, sir, is 2, and both those individuals unfortunately had medical complication issues such as leukemia. What I'm saying is, why don't we direct our resources to where the real victims are, elderly and long-term care facilities, as opposed to shutting down the economy and causing all this mass suffering?
To focus our resources into the long-term care centers is a very good idea. It's a very good idea.
All right. Okay. Well, stay safe and you take care. Thank you. Well, folks, as you saw in John Tory's Toronto in 2021, go for a walk in the park, get thrown in a paddy wagon. If you have had your charter rights trampled on in the name of the Wuhan virus, please reach out to us at fightthefines.com. That's fightthefines.com. Let us know about your case. If we think it has merit, we'll get you in touch with a top-notch criminal lawyer, and we shall crowdfund your legal fees.